Hello, Driving Intelligence community. Well, if you follow my channel enough, you know that a lot of my content is based on this 2002 F150 XLT, the 10th generation, 1997 to 2004 Heritage. Now, I bought this truck for two reasons. One, the roads in South Carolina are crappy, and number two, I have another 2002 F150 that I am absolutely in love with. It's the best vehicle I've ever owned or ever driven, and I want to go over that today. A 2002 Harley Davidson F150 with the factory supercharged engine. I bought this truck off the showroom floor in October of 2002, and I'm the only person that's ever driven it except when they took it off the trucks. Came stock with 20 by 9 inch wheels, and it had 275s on it, but I thought that it needed a little bit more rubber on it. So I put 295 45 20s on here. Really fills it up nice, looks fantastic. As I mentioned, it's got a factory supercharged engine, and I'll talk a little bit more about a couple of minor modifications I've done to it, nothing serious. The first thing I did when I bought it was put that tonneau cover on there, and I bought it with the same dark shadow gray metallic paint, and it just matched up nicely. So it was really something that stands out. Obviously, it's super cool. Let's take a look inside. It's got 33,000 original miles. I had seat covers on most of its life. I took all the other ones off except for the driver's seat just to make sure that there's no damage to the driver's seat, but the original leather is in perfect condition. Everything. One of the few, not only F150s of the 10th generation, it came with the full console similar to the Navigators and Expeditions. It also has the numbering of the truck in there, so it's pretty cool to have a numbered truck. The back of the vehicle has a center console, a two-bucket seat, so it's for 4 people only. And it's a really comfortable and quiet ride. Much more comfortable and quiet than my 2002 XLT. Had a brushed aluminum dash, nice special feature for the kind of check Harley Davidsons. And as you can see, it's black, very black. Got some lines on the center console, but without further ado, I want to go over some of the changes I made to this truck, just to make it a little bit better for me. So number one, I'll put an SCTX board tuning on here, similar to my other F150. I only use the cam tunes that come from SCT, they're not really that good, so I'm toying around with either getting a mail order tune or taking this to 5-star and have put it on their diamond. I also put a special rear view mirror on here, and I'll link a video that talks about how it's integrated to a backup camera I put on this truck. But when I was in China, I found out you could get these Android-based mirrors really cheap. I bought one. It has all kinds of special features, including maps, the backup camera, Bluetooth functionality, a lot of different things. This truck doesn't come with a boost gauge, so I wanted to put a gauge in here that has both vacuum and boost. That's why you see this double pillar mount here. And for whatever reason, I just kind of like the look of an analog clock. I put a clock there. Maybe I'll change that in the future if I do some future tunes, putting a wideband oxygen sensor on there. Something else that I wish I had gotten on this truck when I bought it, but I didn't do it until a few years ago, and I've got a video link below that'll show you, but I put rear power window slider on here. It's a real easy project, but you got to take the interior out, but it works out nice. I love it, and it really allows the air to flow through. Looking at the exterior, you can see I've dropped this truck a little bit. I got some Ford Motorsport Springs when they still sold them, 1.5 inch drop front, and back here it's a 2-inch drop shackle. And I think that puts a nice rake to the truck and makes it look just right. Definitely sat up too high when I bought it. On the front you see the brushed aluminum grills, both top and bottom. The bottom was just a piece of plastic. I didn't like the way that looked, and it really didn't let much air flow through into the intercooler. So this is a much better upgrade for performance. And the upper one, it took me forever to find one that actually replaces the grill. I still got both components. I'll never sell them, but I think this is just a definite clean upgrade. You can see the smoked headlights. I'll link another video below that talks about those. I really think that just tied in with the gray metallic paint and those grills, I think it just looks fantastic.
And one thing I forgot to mention on the wheels, I put some special hubcaps or center caps on there. I've still got the Harley caps. I've got a video that talks about these. Somebody stole one of mine. I didn't want them stolen again, so I got some cheap stuff off of eBay, including the Cobra sticker. I think it looks fantastic, and I like exposed lugs anyway. Going to the back, you can see that I also put smoked lenses on the back as well. And that really just, again, with the color of the truck, the style of the truck, it just really pops. Copied something I did on my other truck. Now, the other truck had a rear window leak. I had to fix that by pulling that off. I pulled the trim ring off, damaged it because it's just so old and brittle on that truck that had been out in the elements. This one, I just didn't like how faded out this looked. The other one looked so fantastic with the gloss paint that I decided to do a little bit of painting on this as well. That was a lot of work because I didn't remove the window and I didn't remove the trim piece. I did it on the vehicle, so there was a lot of taping and masking off, and I might do a video that shows how I did that. But the other thing I copied was that LED light in the back. It's a smoked light, really integrates nicely with the paint I've got here, and it's a gorgeous look on the back of these trucks. It really just makes all that darker and a little bit more integrated with the look of the overall truck. Here you can see the backup camera. I did a video on this previously, and as I said, I will link this below. This is really sharp, and I love the way this works with my integrated rear view mirror. So that's something that you should definitely look at if you've got a Gen F150 or a Harley truck. Looking under the hood, there's a few things I did here. Again, it's just minor. I'm considering doing some more pretty heavy duty performance upgrades, but I don't drive this truck a lot, so I'm still debating that. Anyway, the Johnny Lightning Performance cold air ram air intake. It's got a ram air system that I kind of copied on my other truck. You can see the ram air there. Definitely works because the things like a vacuum cleaner, at times I have to clean this out and pull all the leaves and debris out of here. The stock throttle body on these is pretty restrictive. There are two little bores. This is a gigantic bore from Lightning Force Performance. I got one of these real cheap. I don't remember, it was on eBay or somewhere else, and put this on here. It's one of the reasons why I need to get it tuned, because it really opens that up and changes the way the throttle responds. Last thing I've done, which is really important on all these trucks, and especially the Lightnings or the Harley Davidson F150s with the Supercharger, is put an oil catch can in here. These things just pump out the oil. And I actually just changed from 5W20 to 5W30, and I'm hoping that kind of reduces the amount of oil that gets pumped out of the system through the PCV. And I'm also using Pennzoil, which I find is less volatile than the Royal Purple I was using previously. So that should make a big difference as well. Another modification that you can't see here, the truck is sitting on Bilsteins all the way around. I'll link those below. But I've also put an oversized sway bar on the front. That's either a Hotchkiss or a Hellwig. I can't remember which one, but I'll link it down below. And I put either a Hotchkiss or a Hellwig sway bar on the back, and that was a huge improvement for this vehicle. Just driving down the highway, this thing would kind of, in winds, would want to steer itself, and it just really locked down the vehicle. Future plans for this truck are on the drawing board, but one of the things I did was get myself this upper plenum off of a junked Harley Davidson, and I'm going to port it myself to see if I can't port match it to the supercharger, the intake of the supercharger. That's supposed to be good for quite a bit of flow. And one of the reasons that's going to benefit me is because I'm thinking about going to a smaller supercharger pulley, which will get me either closer to or past the Lightning performance. Ford put a bigger pulley on the Harley Davidson version to drop at about 40 horsepower because they didn't want the Harley Davidson to compete with their Premier Lightning truck. Go figure. Now when I do that, I hear that these belts slip when you put a smaller pulley on here, so I'm going to get a belt wrap kit. It's going to change these idlers. This one will be pushed up. It'll give me a lot more wrap on that pulley. So stay tuned for that. That would be a future upgrade. But in order to do all this, I'm going to have to either get a custom mail order tune, or what I really want to do is take it to 5-star where they can strap it to their dyno. They seem to work a lot of magic, and get them to tune this thing to the best of its ability for the entire cross section of driving, whether it's around town or high performance. Other than that, that's about it for this truck. Like I said, I love it. It's the best vehicle I've ever owned, my favorite vehicle I've ever driven. and I will never sell it. I just hope I can find, when that day comes where I got to go meet my maker, I hope I can find somebody that will appreciate this truck as much as me and take care of it. Well, like I said, stay tuned for future upgrades, and until next time, thanks for watching Driving Intelligence.